New tax law changes in 2024 explained. Now, you're going to want to watch this before filing your taxes because there have been a lot of changes to taxes as we enter into 2024. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to be covering some high priority changes that you need to know about. Now, in this video, I'm going to be covering for you the 2024 federal income tax bracket rate, capital gains tax rates, standard deductions, the child tax credits, the American Opportunity Tax Credit or the Education Tax Credit, 401k contribution limit increases, Social Security cost of living adjustment, the gift tax rate, health savings accounts or HSAs, earned income tax credits for 2024, and the high priority ones to stick around for at the end, beneficial ownership reporting requirements have changed. The IRS interest rates, they are increasing, and also Form 1099 reporting, it is changing as well. So I'm going to be covering these for you in detail in this video. Now, before we dive in, I want to give a disclaimer. I am not a CPA or a tax attorney. This should be considered educational or entertainment content. Always consult a professional for filing or getting advice on your taxes. But let's go ahead and dive right in. And before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate this information that I'm just simply sharing that I have found, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me, hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And also a word from today's video sponsor, Current, that's going to help you out with banking and building your credit at the same time, but more on that later on in the video. But with that being said, let's take a look at some of the changes that are happening right now that we need to know of before filing our taxes. All right, so first let's take a look at the tax brackets for 2024. They have adjusted, so you can go ahead and make a little bit more money now and not be taxed as much on those earnings. Now you can see here that for the 10% rate, that single individuals, they can make up to $11,600 and pay zero tax. Married filing jointly up to $23,200. Married filing separately $11,600, and heads of household $16,550, zero tax. So these amounts have gone up slightly. I'm not going to go through them all. If you'd like to take a look at it, you can go ahead and pause the screen right here and take a look at the 2024 tax brackets. This is going to be when you file next year in 2025. These amounts have increased. Now, the same has happened as well for the capital gains tax rates in 2024 for the long-term capital gains tax rate brackets. The amounts are just a little bit more, so that way you can go ahead and collect more in capital gains and not be taxed. Now, you can see here that for a zero tax rate, the limit is for single individuals $47,025, married filing jointly $94,050, married filing separately, also the same as single, $47,025, and heads of household up to $63,000. So if you can keep your capital gains tax under that, you pay zero, but then we also have the 15 and 20% tax brackets as well. And again, I'm not going to cover them all, but if you'd like to take a look, you can go ahead and pause the screen right here and see the new rates. Now also, the standard deductions that you can claim has increased as well, trying to keep up with inflation for households. But first, shout out to Current for sponsoring today's video. Old school banking just isn't working anymore. They ding you with ridiculous fees, play games with your money, and actually want you to go into credit debt. Stop banking old and get Current. Current is banking and credit building together. They're making it easy to get paid, build credit, and save all in one app. It's simple and seamless. When you set up direct deposit with Current, you can get paid 2 days faster. You can get qualified for fee-free overdraft up to $200 when you spend more than you've got. We've all done that before, right? And you can build credit safely using your own money with Build Card, which also really looks cool, by the way. There's no credit checks, so you can start building credit right now. You don't need to apply and wait or put a down payment or any of that. And possibly the best part of Current is that there are no annual fees and no minimum balance fees. So what are you waiting for? Get Current, the future of banking. Go to www.current.com/Steve-Ram or go to the app today. Set up direct deposit and use my coupon code SteveRam and earn $50. And again, thanks to today's video sponsor, Current. And I've got both on the screen here. You can see 2023, and now you can see the new ones for 2024. You can see that the deductions for single individuals has gone from $13,850 up to $14,600. Married filing separately, it is the same. There has been that same increase. Married filing jointly, it was $27,700. Now it's $29,200. And heads of household was $20,800, which is now $21,900. So all of these have gotten a small increase. Now, let's talk about the child tax credit. Now, as it stands, there currently are no changes as of today, January 24th, 2024. However, there is actually a proposal right now to make modifications. So currently, the maximum tax credit available per child is $2,000 for each child under 17 as of December 31st, 2023. Only a portion is refundable this year of up to $1,600 per child. However, there's a proposal to change all that is underway right now. Now, how much would this change the credit? Well, it could increase it. It says if enacted, the bipartisan bill would make several temporary changes to the child tax credit that could benefit the lowest earning Americans, according to the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center. Now, the refundable portion of the child tax credit would increase from $1,800 for tax year 2023 to $1,900 for 2024 and $2,000 in 2025, and a new calculation would expand access as well. So there could potentially be a lot of changes for parents. Now, this is still pending. It's been approved in the Ways and Means Committee, but it still has to make its way through Congress. Check out this video right here for more information on that, and I will keep you up to date if this passes and changes the child tax credits. Now, let's discuss the American Opportunity Tax Credit for students. This coming directly from the IRS's official website. It says, the American Opportunity Tax Credit, or the AOTC, is a credit for qualified education expenses paid for an eligible student for the first 4 years of higher education. You can get a maximum annual credit of $2,500 per eligible student. If the credit brings the amount that tax that you owe to zero, you can have 40% of any remaining amount of the credit up to $1,000 refunded to you. Now, the amount of the credit is 100% of the first $2,000 of qualified educational expenses that you paid for each eligible student, and 25% of the next $2,000 of qualified educational expenses that you paid for that student. So that is currently the American Opportunity Tax Credit. And then also 401k limit increases as well to $23,000 for 2024. IRA limits rise to $7,000, so you can contribute to that 401k or IRA. Now, as of November 1st, 2023, the IRS has announced that the amount individuals can contribute to their 401k plan in 2024 has increased to $23,000, up from $22,500 in 2023. And the limit of an annual contribution to the IRA has increased up to $7,000 from $6,500. The IRA catch-up contribution limit for individuals ages 50 and over was amended under the Secure 2.0 Act of 2022 to include an annual cost of living adjustment, but remains $1,000 for 2024. Now, speaking of a cost of living adjustment, I've been covering for you in detail Social Security cost of living adjustments as well. And as I mentioned, they had that announcement back in October that for 2024, the increase is 3.2%. So if you collect Social Security, regardless of SSI, SSDI, retirement, survivors, any of the fixed income benefits from the Social Security Administration, you should have seen a 3.2% increase to your benefits. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is simply not enough and there needs to be an across-the-board increase. We've been hearing this from John Larson, Bernie Sanders, several members of Congress. Even Joe Biden had advocated for this as well, yet we have not seen anything come to fruition. Now, if anything changes on that, I will be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. Now, the gift tax rate has changed for 2024 as well. Take a look. A gift tax is tax owed on the transfer of money or property to another person while receiving nothing or less than full value in return. If you give more than the annual gift tax limit, you may have to file a gift tax return, but this does not necessarily mean that you'll owe taxes on that gift. Now, the gift tax limit is $17,000 for 2023, but going into 2024, it is now $18,000. The gift tax rate ranges from 18% to 40%, so be sure to stay under that $18,000, and the gift giver is the one who generally will pay the tax, not the receiver. Now, additionally, HSA contributions or health savings accounts, they have changed their limits as well. And I have both of them on the screen. You can see that the HSA contribution limit for 2023 was $3,850 for self-only coverage, $7,750 for family coverage. Those 55 and older, they could contribute an additional $1,000 to catch up on contributions. But for 2024, those limits have changed. Now an individual can go ahead and do $4,150 up from that $3,850, and family coverage can now be $8,300 in contribution up from that $7,750, and those 55 and older can still contribute an additional $1,000 as a catch-up contribution. And also I wanted to cover for you the Earned Income Tax Credit for 2024. A lot of people forget about the EITC. Many qualify for this benefit that they can receive. They don't even realize it. For the 2024 tax year, taxes filed in 2025, the EITC will range from $632 to $7,830 that you can receive depending on your filing status and how many children you have. Now, who qualifies? There's an investment income cap. Your investment income must be $11,000 or less in 2023, and in 2024, that figure has risen to $11,600. Your annual earnings must have at least $1 of earned income. Foreign income you must not have filed for Form 2555, foreign earned income. Age, if you're claiming the EITC without any qualifying children, you must be at least 25 years old, but not older than 65. If you're claiming jointly without a child, only one spouse needs to meet the age requirement. Special rule for separated couples. If you qualify for the EITC, if you're separated but still married, to do so, you can file a joint tax return and your child must live with you for more than half of the year. You must also not have lived with your spouse during the last 6 months, or you must have a separation agreement or decree. Now, there's also information regarding whether or not you can receive the EITC with and without children, which you can. The requirements are right here on the screen. You can go ahead and pause this if you'd like, or if you'd like, maybe I can go into more detail in a future video. Now, let's cover some of the high priority changes that you need to know about. Now, this is coming from the official website of the United States government. This is FinCEN. Many companies are going to be required to report information to FinCEN about the individuals who ultimately own or control them. FinCEN began accepting reports on January 1st of 2024. If you have an entity like an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, you need to report this information. If you do not, you could be fined up to $500 per day and end up in prison. So this is very important that you take a look at this. Again, this is coming directly from fincen.gov/BOI for the beneficial ownership information that must be reported now in 2024. Also, if you fall behind with filing your taxes, the interest rates remain the same for the first quarter of 2024, but they're going to be going up. So make sure that you stay on top of these taxes. For individuals, the rate of overpayments and underpayments will be 8% per year, compounded daily. Here is a complete list of the new rate. 8% for overpayments, payments made in excess in the amount owed, 7% for corporations, 5.5% for the portion of the corporate overpayment exceeding $10,000. So these interest rates are going to be going up. So if you've not made your payments, it's going to be hurting you even more. And lastly, understanding those Form 1099-Ks. And we had heard a lot of reporting going on that this was going to be dropping down to $600 from $20,000. Well, it is going to be dropping down, but not down to $600. Take a look here from the official website from the IRS. It says the $600 threshold for payment apps and online marketplaces to report payments on Form 1099-K is delayed for tax year 2023. The IRS is planning a threshold of $5,000 for tax year 2024. So if you've been making transactions on online apps and you have done sales over the amount of $5,000, you're going to need a 1099-K form. So that is the latest changes coming out. And again, I am not an attorney or a CPA. Just wanted to share with you the latest information that I found on taxes. And also, I will keep you up to date on that legislation currently in Congress to make changes to the child tax credits. Now, to get more information on that, be sure to check out this video right here next. And as more stuff rolls out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.